Hello friends, welcome back to the Flavors and Knowledge podcast. I am your host, Noah Mitchell. In this episode, we'll explore the invention of the chocolate chip cookies. In the quiet town of Whitman, Massachusetts, halfway between Boston and Cape Cod, stood a modest Cape Cod-style house that Ruth Graves Wakefield and her husband Kenneth transformed in 1930 into the Toll House Inn. The country was deep in the Great Depression, yet the couple opened their doors with quiet determination, offering travelers warm meals, clean rooms, and the kind of home-cooked desserts that made people linger. Ruth, a trained dietitian and graduate of Framingham State Normal School's household arts program, ran the kitchen with precision and creativity. Guests soon raved about her tall lemon meringue pies, rich Indian pudding, and especially the thin butterscotch nut cookies she served alongside ice cream. One day in the late 1930s, accounts place the moment around 1937 or 1938, Ruth decided to vary that familiar cookie. She had been serving a popular butter drop dew or butterscotch pecan icebox cookie, but she wanted something different, something that would surprise her diners. Reaching for baker's chocolate to melt into the dough, she found the cupboard empty. What she did have was a bar of Nestlé semi-sweet chocolate. With an ice pick, she chopped the bar into small, irregular chunks the size of peas and folded them into the buttery batter along with chopped walnuts, fully expecting the chocolate to melt and spread into a rich, uniform chocolate cookie as it baked. The oven worked its quiet magic. When Ruth pulled the trays free, the cookies were golden and crisp at the edges, just as she had planned, but the chocolate had not melted away. Instead, the pieces held their shape, softening into creamy molten pockets that still retained their distinct form. The result was unexpected and immediately irresistible, a cookie that offered both the tender snap of the dough and sudden bursts of pure chocolate. Guests at the Toll House Inn fell in love with them at once. Ruth named the new creation Toll House Chocolate Crunch Cookies and began serving them regularly. Demand grew so quickly that she printed the recipe in the 1938 edition of her cookbook, Toll House Tried and True Recipes. Local newspapers picked it up. Home bakers across New England began chopping Nestlé bars in their own kitchens, and sales of the company's semi-sweet chocolate climbed sharply. Nestlé took notice. In 1939, the company approached Ruth with a simple proposal. They would print her recipe on the wrappers of their chocolate bars if she would allow it. In return, she received a lifetime supply of chocolate and a consulting relationship with the firm. Legend adds that the formal payment was $1. Nestlé first scored its bars to make chopping easier, then in 1941 introduced ready-made morsels, the chocolate chips we know today, expressly for the cookie that now bore the Toll House name. The recipe appeared on every package, and the cookie's fame spread far beyond Massachusetts. During the Second World War, the cookies took on new meaning. American bakers at home mailed packages of Toll House cookies to soldiers overseas, small tokens of ordinary sweetness that carried the taste of home across oceans. After the war, the cookies became a fixture of American life. Lunchboxes, bake sales, holiday platters, late-night kitchen raids. The original versions Ruth baked were smaller and thinner than the thick, chewy cookies popular today, with a pronounced butterscotch note from the brown sugar and a delicate crunch. Yet the essential idea remained unchanged, the deliberate contrast between soft dough and intact pieces of chocolate. Ruth herself later insisted the invention had not been pure accident. She had been experimenting deliberately, drawing on her training in food chemistry and a desire to improve an already successful cookie. Still, the story that endured in popular memory was the charming one of a missing ingredient and an unexpected triumph. The Toll House Inn continued under the Wakefields until they sold it in the 1960s. Ruth died in 1977. On New Year's Eve 1984, a fire that began in the kitchen destroyed the old building. The site is marked today by a historical plaque and the restored inn sign, quiet witnesses to the place where a simple kitchen improvisation became one of the most beloved foods in American history. What began as chopped chocolate in a Depression era in kitchen now fills supermarket aisles, bakery cases, and cookie jars around the world. Every time a home baker drops spoonfuls of dough onto a sheet and watches the chips soften without disappearing, they repeat the quiet experiment Ruth Wakefield performed nearly 90 years ago. The chocolate chip cookie is no longer merely a dessert. It is a shared memory, a small, enduring comfort that crossed from a Massachusetts roadside table into the everyday life of a nation and beyond. Ultimately, dear followers, thanks for listening and for the privilege of your time. In conclusion, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you for joining us on today's journey through flavor and discovery. You'll find all the relevant links in the show notes, including details on our cooking classes, the full notes and recipes from this episode, and our calendar for culinary tourism tour. Be sure to subscribe to our free newsletter to stay connected and informed. Remember to taste thoughtfully, cook with passion, and continue exploring the boundless world of food. Subscribe for more, share with a fellow food enthusiast, and we'll see you in the next episode. Until then, keep your eyes on the fire and stay curious. The content for this episode is written by Chef Walter and produced by Simval Media, USA.